Hello and welcome to Money 2020 Europe in Amsterdam. I'm here with Alan from FinanceMalta. Hello.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
I'm really looking forward to learning about the fintech scene in Malta. Could we start by you introducing yourself and telling us a little about what you do?
So I'm Alan Cuschieri. I'm a governor at FinanceMalta, which is a public-private organization that is there to promote and showcase the opportunities that Malta has to offer when it comes to financial services. And we're here attending Money 2020 in particular for fintech, which is one of the pillars of financial services in Malta.
So you're here to tell everyone about Malta. What makes it an attractive destination for fintech companies?
There's a lot to say when it comes to Malta and fintech. Malta has been recognized as the top performing fintech jurisdiction by McKinsey recently. MasterCard has also been very present on the island, increasingly present, and has conducted a detailed study on fintech in Malta recently. So that shows that there's a lot of activity and support over there. Apart from that, we have a good support system such as the Visa Innovation Program, and Visa have a team on the ground. Microsoft have had a team for many years. The regulator has now launched its second version of the FinTech Sandbox. We have a single regulator, which also helps, a single financial services regulator that is quite innovative, willing to listen. We were the first country to actually regulate crypto assets as well, which is now being harmonized and regulated across all Europe. So Malta was at the forefront of that quite a few years ago. So we are quite an innovative jurisdiction too. So there's a lot going. Malta is also English speaking, part of the European Union. So it can serve as a good base also for companies wishing to set up in Malta. And then obviously access the European markets. So those are just a few things. In fact, sorry, just to keep on going, we also have the central bank that offers MT Europay, which is allowing fintechs who set up in Malta to connect to the SEPA system and process SEPA payments for their clients. So there's really a good setup and a good home ground for fintechs to place themselves in.
You've just talked about sandboxes and regulation. How does the regulatory framework support innovation in this industry?
So Malta has always been at the forefront of regulation. For example, when it comes to crypto assets, Malta was the first country in the world that actually built a fully fledged regulation on crypto assets. And nowadays, several years later, Europe is moving to regulate and harmonize that. That means that companies in Malta that are regulated today for crypto assets, giving an example, will be automatically passported to a MiCA license when this is transposed and this comes into force, giving them a head start, an immediate head start over there. Other examples are the FinTech Sandbox, which is now in its second version, and is a friendly way to help startups test new ideas without going through the full regulatory process. Under supervision by the MFSA, they can test new ideas and they have 12 months to do it. So that's another thing that fuels innovation.
Fantastic. And what about FinanceMalta? Could you go into a bit more about its role in how it promotes and supports fintechs?
So as I said, FinanceMalta is very active. It's a public-private organization with its own members based in Malta. We come to trade shows like Money 2020. We support our members, providing speaking opportunities and other opportunities to showcase what the companies have to offer globally, be it Money 2020 or other events. Apart from that, obviously FinanceMalta is there to support the ecosystem and to help companies that are wishing to set up in Malta connect to the right organization, such as Malta Enterprise, that has grants and incentives for companies setting up in Malta, be it connecting those companies with the regulator and in generally just facilitating the process and making sure that everything goes smoothly in their transition to setting up in Malta.
And if we look at Malta as a whole, how has the fintech industry impacted other areas, the whole financial services and the economic landscape?
At the moment, fintech in Malta is booming. So there's a lot of interest at the moment. Malta is seeking for quality companies with substance on the ground. So to set up in Malta, you do have to have substance, and you do have to have some people on the ground and show that. But having said that, there's a lot of quality companies that have come to Malta and have already set up, such as Neom, such as Crypto.com, other fintechs. There's also a healthy ecosystem of existing fintechs over there. So all in all, there is a nice mix, and this is positively impacting the economy, obviously, because it's creating jobs, and there is a good support system around it that is also growing as a result.
Sounds like there's lots of opportunities there, but are there any challenges as well for fintechs wanting to operate there?
Of course, there are. In fintech is a very agile and challenging world. It's a very fast-moving world as well. There is always new regulations coming out, like there is in the rest of Europe, such as DORA, CSOP, other regulatory reporting, and other challenges that fintechs face on a day-to-day basis. However, Malta is trying also to help in that regard by uniting the reporting structures and getting the respective bodies to unite to simplify the reporting process for fintechs and banks and for other financial service providers, so that we avoid duplication of reporting to different agencies. So there are challenges, but there are also opportunities in the way that we could become more efficient going forward.
And if you were to get your crystal ball out, how do you see the Malta fintech sector evolving over the next, say, 5 to 10 years?
I mean, conservatively speaking, I think at the rate we're going, we can comfortably double within 5 years from where we are today. So I think there's a lot happening. There is also a lot of opportunity in the VC/PE space, because that is one of the areas where Malta there wasn't a strong presence there. Recently, there's been a lot of initiative in that area, both with PEFCA being set up, which is an organization that is on private equity and venture capital association. The government has set up a fund that is supporting also fintechs who are receiving investment. So there's this fund that when a company receives investment, basically this fund will match it, also help to fuel that innovation and that growth. Apart from that, there is Start in Malta and many other initiatives that are being taken to help grow. So I would say we are on the right track. We're keeping obviously our feet on the ground. We're looking for quality companies to come over. We don't want to make the same mistakes as maybe other jurisdictions have made, where they were offering, for example, licenses with no substance. But at the same time, if you are a company that can offer that kind of quality, then there is a lot of opportunity in Malta, and you will find a very friendly ecosystem and an easy environment to conduct your business.
We're on day 2 of Money 2020. How have you found it so far? I know you mentioned you've got a team over here. What have you kind of taken away so far?
Well, I mean, just looking back at the last 3 years, Malta started with a very small stand and a small presence, and today we have a full entourage from all the organizations, be it the organizations that are providing support to companies moving to Malta, to the regulator, giving talks to the private entities, to the fintechs here present. So, I mean, the presence is substantial. So it's really nice to see that consistent evolution, and I think next year will be even bigger. It's really nice to see Malta over there being present with much larger countries, and even sometimes having an even larger presence than mainland countries. With regards to Money 2020, obviously we hold it very close to our heart. It's an amazing opportunity to network, and it's an enabler for business and also to learn from all the great talks that there are. So all in all, we're having a great time.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I've learned a lot about Malta today, so thank you for that, and nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for having me.